Hi everybody, welcome to the live. I'm excited about today. It is a little late because this is our monthly movie tribute and we are going to celebrate love, but in a different kind of way. Okay, so we were supposed to do the Twilight trilogy, right? But it's not available, and I had already did some visuals for the show, so I had to start over. I had to also think about what would be something catchy, and I chose Indiana Jones. I don't think a lot of people think of Indiana Jones when it comes to romance, but they should. Why? Because he is like the rougher side of James Bond. He always has a leading lady with him to help complete his mission. So we're gonna do Indiana Jones, 3 movies, 3 bachelorettes chosen to match with him. Who will win out of those 3 movies? We have the next I believe 3 weeks to do that because we are late. So let's get into our Clubhouse 81's dating game movie reaction to Indiana Jones. So let's pull up the visual. Let's put it on this side, cause let's blow it up just a little bit so you guys can see. Should I just put it in front of me and I commentate? I'll do it like that. Well, we'll put it to the side like this. All right. This is our first ever dating game on the show. Hold on. I do got the... We have our bachelor, which is Dr. Henry Walton Jones, also known as Indiana Jones or simply Indy. He is a bachelor. He is our college professor in archaeology. He's a historian, a United States Army officer, and although he's considered a ladies' man, he has a soft spot for brunettes, and he hates snakes and corrupt leaders. This is our bachelor of the night, Indiana Jones. Now, his first match, female match, would be Marion Ravenwood. She was once a student of his in his class as she majored in journalism. Marion also followed school and began a career as a bartender and bar owner in Nepal. Her favorite color is white. She's feisty, does not tolerate any smart lip, and she can outdrink any man into a coma. Marion Ravenwood is our first match of the night. So let's get into a little snippet of this movie that is produced by the powerhouse creative minds of George Lucas, Philip Kaufman, who helped with this, and Steven Spielberg. Also with the music by the everlasting legend, John Williams. Yeah, that's the same guy who did the Jaws theme. There you go. This character and story was created by Lucas and Kaufman, and it premiered in June 12th, 1981. It was filmed on a budget of $20 million, and it boxed office at $300 million. Indiana Jones movies are best known for the adventures of good guy versus bad guy action, real life treasures as such as known in Christian faith, the covenant, the Ark of the Covenant, and that is what he's looking for in this movie. Timepieces that makes Jones and his missions exciting. These movies are truly action-packed with gore and violence, and they're scary, but they're sexy. And yes, there is sex. I mean, this is in the early 30s, but hello, They was a little raunchy back then, even though they were polite and mannerable. How do you think we got here? And yeah, so I mean, what other way than to kick off this Valentine's month with The Bachelor, hot, heavy, most sought after indie. Okay. So we're not gonna do the whole entire movie. I've seen this movie times, and I'm sure you have too. But what we'll do is pick up and do a reaction to the last 30 minutes. Well, a little bit of the last 30 minutes of this film. You can find it for free if you have a subscription to Amazon. Okay. Let's get back to our sexy song. We are beginning this movie at the 1 hour and 10-minute mark. Jones has this arc of Indiana Jones. And he's surrounded by snakes. Well, I didn't know it was going to start there. This is the scene where Marion is thrown down into the pit with Indy. But he catches her in his arms. Oh. And can I just say, I believe this movie started the whole trend of coming up with the best sound effects for a punch. Indiana Jones packs it. It's probably the most known punch and compared to punch when it comes to other sound effects in movies and fight scenes. So there's something else that's trendy. By the way, it's morning on this Sunday and it's a Super Bowl Sunday. Do you have your coffee and are you getting ready for the game later on? I can say this is probably the first year of my life that I have been excited about the Puppy Bowl for some reason. I mean, can we just give a round of applause to the advertising for that? Because I think a lot of people are hyped to see the Puppy Bowl. Is there no, is it? It's no trick. Oh, wait. Why is it doing that? Hold on, y'all. This is weird. Okay, there we go. View all. Trivia. And let's bring back the music. Trying to pull up the movie trivia here for you guys so we can read off some things from behind the scenes, cast information on this movie. Oh, that's a skull. That's a dead body, Marion. Okay. They did not spare the skulls and dead skeletons in this movie. Let me tell you. In all Indiana movies, I think there's always a dead body that comes up like a skull. I'm going to pay attention this time. But let's get into a little trivia. While Indiana escapes this tomb with Marion and attempts to steal a plane from the Nazis. So at the beginning of this movie, they did not use their standard Paramount logo. They used the version that was used in the 1940s because of the time period of this movie. Very clever. Oh. This was shot in Hawaii. Indy's whip is 10 feet long, although some shorter versions were used depending on the shot required. This is also Alfred Molina's first credited screen role. The guy at the beginning, covered that went in there and tried to dupe Indy for the statue. That's Alfred Molina. Oh, spoiler alert. When Satipo has crooked teeth when he smiles, as Indy retrieves the golden idol. But when Indy finds Satipo dead, he has perfect straight teeth. Oh, I didn't pay attention to that part. The labyrinth scene with the giant rolling ball is similar to a reference from That Man from Rio in 1964. The giant boulder chase that chases Indiana Jones was made of fiberglass. Oh, didn't look like it. Like it was actually made of some type of stone. To get the sound effect for the boulder rolling downhill, they were leaving in a Honda Civic, coasting down a gravel embankment, and noticed the sound was just what they were looking for. So they grabbed the microphone and held it near one of the Civic's rear tires and recorded the effect. Wow. Harrison Ford did actually outrun the boulder in the opening sequence. Because the scene was shot twice from 5 different angles, he had to outrun it 10 times. Ford's stumble in the scene was deemed to look authentic, so it was left in. I do think it was real because of the way he jumped out of the cave at the end. Alright, when Indy is climbing onto the platoon of the seaplane, his clothes appear completely dry, though he just was in water. I did notice that today. I wasn't going to say anything, but since trivia is pointing off all the goofs, let's go for it. In the classroom scene, Indy writes the word Neolithic on the chalkboard. Later in the scene, it is apparent that the word has been rewritten, most likely due to multiple takes. The letter H has a more curve. Oh, damn, somebody actually paid attention to that? In 1936, Egypt was not under British rule, but there was a British military presence, primarily to guard the Suez Canal. It wouldn't have been impossible for German troops to operate there without the express permission of the Egyptian government. Wow. Most of the body blow sounds were created by hitting a pile of leather jackets with a baseball bat. What? That's how they created the famous Indiana Jones punch? It does not sound like they're... Now I kind of want to hit a leather jacket with a baseball bat to see if it sounds like that. I should do that one day. Oh, wow. So, this movie came out in 1981. And I'm pretty sure it was filmed and shot in 79, 1980. So Steven Spielberg and Melissa Mathison wrote a script during the shoot breaks on the locations of this film, The Raiders of the Lost Ark. Melissa Mathison was there to visit her husband Harrison Ford, and Spielberg dictated to her a story idea he had. And that script eventually became E.T. Isn't that cool? It's so fascinating, the world of Spielberg and Lucas. It is. They have such creative minds. 3 different stuntmen were used to double for Harrison Ford. Vic Armstrong when riding a horse, Martin Grace as the fallen statue, and Terry Leonard when he was pulled behind the truck. Over 30 bullwhips were supplied for the Indiana Jones franchise, ranging from 6 to 16 feet in length. Until this day, I think he's the only character that used the whip as a weapon. Till this day, I do think that. I can't think of any. If you know any other movie character, adventure movie character, that used the whip as a weapon, put it in my comment sections, because I couldn't think of one. Okay? Oh, wow. And this was voted number 2 on Empire's Magazine 500 Greatest Movies of All Time in September 2008. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to watch the first 3, and we're going to rate and see which ones are the best ones out of all 3. Okay? Over here from Clubhouse 81. All right? Ooh. I told you he was a ladies' man. When Brody first goes into Indy's house to discuss the mission, Jones is dressed the way he is because he was actually entertaining a young woman. Now, the script originally planned to show her. However, her appearance was cut as Steven Spielberg thought that being a playboy did not fit Indy's character. Well, it may not have fit, but it still oozed through, Steve. It still came out. Just saying. Even though he might have got stuck with one woman throughout a mission, you came out with 4 of them. And there's a 5th one on the way. So, and we know off screen, in between, what he was doing. Just saying. we can fill in the blanks with Indiana and his escapades. Well, we know that so they pointed out that there's no way he could have flew those long distance flights when they show him at the beginning going from site to site and ending up in Nepal. Hello, we know this. It's called adventure. That's it. They're just showing his track. Could have left that one out. What? Check out how many people were considered to be. You know, one thing I noticed about watching Indiana Jones movies too is it's not like, I mean, yes, he uses his smarts to outwit his enemies and get away, right? Because it's not like he's got like this whole Batman collage of all these contraptions he can use to get out of stuff. He just has a whip, a pistol, and his brain. That's it. And I think that's what makes him more of a lovable character. Or you know, he's just an ordinary guy. He's a teacher, for God's sakes. But he just knows how to think quick on his feet to get out of situations. So when you're watching him being chased by bad guys, he's gonna do what anybody else normally would do, right? Which is, you know, swerve the car from side to side, punch him, fight back, whatever the case may be. It's nothing James Bondish about it. You know, jumping off of buildings, running through the fire, you know, shooting 10 men with one pistol. It's not like that. So I can enjoy that. But check this out. There were various actresses, at the time that were considered for the role of Marion Ravenwood. And those were Jane Seymour, Barbara, Lisa, Mary Steen, Amy Irvin, Dee Wallace, Valerie Bertinelli, Linda Pearl, Patty D. Arbanville, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Deborah Winger were all considered for the role of Marion. Sean Young was used as Marion in Screen Test with Tom Selleck. Tim Matheson and John Shea were used for Karen Allen's Screen Test. Young would later star opposite of Harrison Ford in Blade Runner in 1982. And Dee Wallace would co-star in Steven Spielberg E.T. with Peter Coyote, who also read for the role of Indiana Jones. So there was a lot of big people, men and women, that were trying to get into this role of this movie, and it ultimately went to who we see today. There is a long-standing myth that Jeff Bridges turned down the role of Indiana Jones, but it was never offered to him, which was confirmed in an article in Entertainment Weekly in 2014. I could have never saw any of the Bridges playing Indiana Jones. No disrespect, but it just wouldn't have been the same to me. Can you picture Jeff Bridges as Indiana Jones? Imagine it. Close your eyes just for a second. I don't think you'll be pleased. And I believe Jeff Bridges is the one who played in, what's that movie with John Goodman and Johnny Depp? Oh my God, I can't think of it. But he played in this movie. He played in that movie. George Lucas goes on vacation to get away from all the hoopla as Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope in 1977 was just about to open. Lucas went to Hawaii, where he was joined by Spielberg. When the grosses for Lucasfilm came in and it was clear it was going to be a hit, Lucas relaxed and was able to discuss other topics with his friends. It was at this point that Steven confessed he always wanted to direct a James Bond film, to which Lucas replied he had a better much idea. So an adventure movie called Raiders of the Lost Ark was starting to begin. The conversation happened while the two were making a sand castle, and after they tripped, they got together and developed what we know today. Just that simple, just that quick. On a vacation, your mind's not muddled, you think of something great. There you go. An early concept art of the character who ultimately came depicted as a uniform Nazi, Todt, was a mechanical arm and doubled as a machine gun and a radio antenna built in his head. But George Lucas dismissed that. Oh, I'm so glad he thought that was too far-fetched. That would have been crazy. And it would have been a little bit comic bookish to see something like that. So I'm glad it didn't go that way. see that he... Okay, so a revealing mistake. When Talk is menacing Marion with the hot poker from the fire, this is at the beginning of the film. One of the Sherpa henchmen is clearly wearing a prosthetic makeup around his eye, presumably to make the Western actor's round eyes look more Asian in appearance. I did not notice that. So they're about to get away, y'all. They're getting on the boat. And so it seems. It's always like close to the end when you think they about to get... Damn, Marion's dress just went from... It used to... Her dress used to be white. Now it is completely black from mud and dirt. Oh my goodness. Please get this lady a bath and some clean clothes. Oh, she has them. Yeah, she's in a robe. But Indiana Jones is still in his nasty clothes and hat that never moves off of his head too toughly. I wonder how they kept that hat on this man's head so long. What'd you say? Did you not hear that man scream out of pain? You just slapped him in the face with a mirror. What? It's the mileage. After all that, there's still room for love. Child, he tired. He just saved your life and probably the life of many other people in this world. Hello. Is the ark burning a hole through the wooden box? Now, how the hell they slept in that little bitty bed together? I don't think they did it. I think they just went to sleep. But well, hell, she was naked. They probably did do it. But I'm just saying, the bed looked like it was half of a twin size bed. I'm just saying. Oh, they're looking for Indy. gonna punch him. Look at him. What? What? Oh, and he wants the girl. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Ew. Are they trying to save Marion from the Germans? Because they just treat her like an auction piece. Jeez. Now, is the captain of the ship trying to save him? He left Marion on the boat. What is he doing? I don't remember this part. Oh, yeah, okay. I knew the captain had to be on his side to tell him that he killed them. Do they know he on top of their boat? Where are they going? So what about Marion? Because she on the boat with the brother man and them. And that crazy Bosch. Bosch is his ultimate enemy too. He does the same thing, but he hires the local men to help him find the treasures. And he uses the treasures for, you know, bargaining and negotiating with the bad people. So, you know, Indiana has to try to like always beat Bosch at getting it because he knows he won't use the artifact and for the right reasons. You know. They bought Marion there? Well, how did they get there? I thought Tot was dead. Tot is the one with that grabbed the thing when it was hot and it was in his hand. That's who that is.
Only then if the sacred pieces of the covenant are inside. Knowing only then whether you have accomplished your mission and obtained the one true Ark.
Yeah, that part I never understood, but we're not going to get into the semantics of this. You know, it did seem kind of odd that the Germans were involved with the Ark, seeing it as an origin, and they're against that. But Hey, let the movie people. Don't question it. Just watch it. Okay? They still got Marion. Why? I thought she was gonna be like, you know, a sex worker for them. She participated. She like, ugh, that's how he looked underneath that head. Mm. Okay, so back to a little more trivial. In the meantime, while Indiana tries to think of a way to save Marion and get the Ark back, the famous scene where Indy shoots the flamboyant swordsman, Harrison was supposed to use the whip to take the sword out of his hand, but as everyone knows, if you don't know, during the filming of Raiders of the Ark, the staff, including Harrison Ford, suffered very bad food poisoning. And because of that, and having to reshoot that shot so many times and suffer from that, Ford just suggested, can I just shoot the guy? And Spielberg said, why not? And that's why we have that in the scene. Which I think was a little more clever than using the whip, to be honest. It gave it a little bit comedic touch, too.
If we refuse, your Fuhrer has no pride.
Oh, I didn't know that. So John Williams, by the way, it says here, this is the only movie his music was originally played for. It was just reused in the other films, which is the Raiders March that we know. Dun, 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 dun. I didn't know that. I didn't know one. The most popular theme of the movie, which is true. Steven Spielberg originally wanted Danny DeVito to play Salah. DeVito was set for the role, but he had to drop out due to conflicts with Taxi in 1978. TV. DeVito later appeared as a second banana to Michael Douglas in the Raiders tribute, Romancing in the Stone, in 1984. So they caught Indy and now they caught Marion. And they still got the Ark. Okay. Come on now, Indy. I'm surprised they're even able to touch it. Just saying. You would think. But let's see. Maybe when he opens it, God will intervene. Divine intervention will take place. Okay, so Philip Kaufman. Let's talk about his involvement with this movie. Philip Kaufman shares the story credit with George Lucas because they originally worked on the film together in the late 1970s. Kaufman was Lucas's first choice to direct and came up with the idea to pursue the Lost Ark of the Covenant. So Kaufman's position was because he actually came up with the meat of the film, which is why we're watching it. Yay! 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 That's the man coming through. That's the man coming. You do it? He said not today. Ooh, ooh. All of them. I ain't know it. Hold on, y'all. I ain't know. I ain't never paid attention to this part. Wait a minute. It's talking? Oh, look at them running. Wait a minute. He ran. Did y'all notice the two extras in the cave when they open the ark run, but they only run to the back of the crowd? They don't leave out the cave. Who is that? Or what spirits are those? Is that Moses and his people? Just trying to figure out what I'm watching right now. Oh, he said, don't look. Don't look. Why don't look? Oh, he just got set on fire. Oh. Oh. Burning holes through everybody. Mmm. Tot scream is funny. Ooh, they're melting. Ooh. He blew up. My golly. Oh my God. Is there anything about this scene? Jeez. Oh, I didn't know that. So many of the snakes in the Well of Souls are not snakes, but legless lizards. Next time you watch the movie, look for the ear holes which snakes lack. I want to get to this part. Because I'm trying to understand what I just saw. Like, who was the ghost?
Well, gentlemen, I guess that just about wraps it up. Where is the Ark? I thought we'd settle this. The Ark is somewhere very safe. From whom? The Ark is a source of unspeakable power, and it has to be researched. And it will be, I assure you, Dr. Brody, Dr. Jones. We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
Hey, what happened? You don't look very happy.
Fools. Bureaucratic
What's it
fools.
say?
You don't know what they've got there.
Well, I know what I've got here. Come on. Buy a drink.
What? So the ghost effect, the spirit effects, were achieved by shooting mannequins underwater in slow motion through a fuzzy lens. Wow. This movie was 1981's biggest grossing film. I can believe that. According to the novelization, the writing on the headpiece of the staff of Ra includes a specific warning not to look into the ark. This is why Indiana and Marion survive at the end by closing their eyes. It may be allusion to 1 Samuel 6:19, where God smote the men of Beth Shemesh for looking into the ark. Oh, all right. Understood. I get it. I get it. Wow, I didn't know that in 1981 PG-13 did not exist as a rating. Wow, I thought it always existed. Damn. So when did PG-13 come out? Well, you guys, that is Indiana Jones. The movie has ended with another heroic day of Indiana saving the Ark from ending up in the hands of the Germans. So it is safely tucked away in somebody's museum somewhere in the world. Now, our next Indiana Jones match coming up. She's not a brunette. She is a blonde. She's a singer/performer, and she hates to break a nail. So we'll see who that is next week with Indiana Jones in his second match, okay, on the movie reaction dating game here from Clubhouse 81 for our monthly movie tribute of love. So sending love from Clubhouse 81 to all you out there, you viewers and subscribers. If you haven't, press that button. Join us in our fam. We're on a goal to 500 subscribers, and you could help us do that. Please thumbs up this video from your heart. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys next week for our second part of this dating game. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Super Bowl Sunday. May whoever you choose to win the game come out as the victor. For myself, I know everybody keeps talking about it, but I am rooting for Kansas City, you guys. Who are you rooting for? Put it in the comments. I would like to know. Signing off from Clubhouse 81, you guys. I'll see you in the next reaction. Peace. I had turned out the music, y'all. My bad. Can we get took out with some good music? Let's get took out with some good music. 1 second, you guys.